to the Business Empowerment Podcast, the show that keeps you in the know with what you need to know in business and technology and for yourself so you can grow. Welcome to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Rob House, and my co-host, Wilton Rogers, got insight for miles. Miles and miles. We'll give you what you need to know. Get ready for the Business Empowerment Podcast. What is good, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls?
What's up? What's up? How you doing, man?
Man, I'll be doing much better once I get out of the dark and come into the light. My lighting has been crazy around here, man. Look, okay, I'm back now.
You're back.
I got to stand in a certain position or something. Like, it's really interesting.
It's probably the light behind you too. Do you have a light in front of you?
How's that? Okay, look at that.
Yeah,
look at that, boy. I can see clear now. You can see me clearly now. Man, what's up, man?
You go in the dark again, man. I think you're in the shadows. See,
it's
all good. We know
it's all good, dude.
Like,
it's
they
all
want to listen to you. They want to look at you anyway.
Right.
They don't want to look at us.
I'm living in duality right now, 100%. Welcome to the Business Empowerment Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I might as well just go off screen and do like this. You know, you are watching and listening to this show that gives you insights on business, technology, and leadership. And the thought leaders leading the way. That's what we do, man. We are leading the way with the thought leaders. We're trying to educate people to keep them from going out of business. And while you're not going out of business, actually thriving in business. See, it's not just one thing to stay in business. Nobody's in business just to stay in business.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like no one wants to just stay in business. People want to thrive because when you're thriving, people are winning. You're growing. Mm-hmm. You're having those experiences that are giving you the good feelings and making you want to come back to work and continue to keep doing what you're doing. You know, you become a part. You become a part of that minority. Unfortunately, the minority of people that love their work.
Mm-hmm. You do. We get to see it every day, though. Yeah. I mean, and it's getting busier and busier. Look at today, man. It's like, you know, setting up meetings. We're running behind on meetings just because we're overlapping because people are asking more questions. They're excited about what we're doing, and because they see the opportunity of growing, of impacting others, just by automating their system. So they can be in front of their clients, their customers, their members.
Ooh.
So we're enjoying it, dude. This has been fun.
And what I'm loving about what we're doing today, we're doing some more educating on the power of this technology, of this RPA, robotic process automation. But let's throw that word out. Let's just call it business process automation. Let's just call it something that sounds a little more familiar. Automation, technology. We're going to talk about some of the benefits of that because what I've been noticing is that people have been asking questions when they've been seeing some of my posts lately. You've been asking some really good questions, and it's because we are sharing information with people now to where it is very receivable, to where you can identify what the benefit is quickly, especially if you're in that field. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think it's so key. I mean, yes, we call it business process automation because robotic just doesn't really give it justice. It's not a robotic process automation, right? It's an automated process, but it's more of a business process automation.
Mm-hmm.
We're automating business processes. But if you look up, the best thing to do is actually go to our website. And go to our website because if you go to our website, it actually introduces you to what RPA is. And it's so key to know that now. I was just on a roundtable the other day and on Tuesday, and they were talking about right now about 75% of all enterprise companies have RPA. 75% of them right now, today, have RPA. Within six years, all small and medium-sized and large enterprises, 97% of them will have it.
That's an interesting stat.
And right now, only 15% of the SME, small and medium sized enterprise, even knows about it or considering adopting it. They don't even have even implemented it. So it tells you
That's
about the growth right there, right?
that's
So
very interesting.
so let's take it a step further now. Small and medium sized businesses. 2% of people that are in this sector know it even exists, and they don't even know what it does. I mean, come on, we're getting on calls on a regular basis. People are like, okay, what does it do? Can you do this? And afterwards, like, whoa, I can't believe you can even do that. We just love it because we see that reaction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although we are very blessed to be in the enterprise, especially small, medium sized enterprise, that's where most of our business is right now. But the small businesses are the ones that once they get on this train, they're gonna see how fast they can automate. In fact, the
Oh
ones that
man.
we have a couple of them right now that are already on their fifth, sixth, seventh process in about 3 or 4 months because they're like, man, it's like a kid in the candy store. They want
Right.
more and more and more, right? So, it's so important to understand what IPA is right now because if you own a business, if you know someone who owns a business, or you're about to own a business, you better have RPA because if you don't have RPA, you're going to be doing a lot of work. It's going to be taking time away from you to do what you do best.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom
Yep.
line. That's it.
Bottom line. Bottom line. And so we're gonna show you some of those details specifically when we get back. So get a pad and pen or use this technology called the phone. Take some notes. Get ready. Be back in a second.
Simply automate. Automation made simple. Simply automate. Simply automate. Automation made simple. Simply automate. Simple.
It
Yeah.
is on like Donkey Kong. Thank you, love.
Simply automate, make automation simple. We do make it simple, dude.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm loving about what we're doing, man. It's well, let's back up a few years. It wasn't easy to get to where we're at, right?
Yeah.
It took hundreds of failures to get it right. I mean, we literally talked to hundreds and hundreds of businesses. I mean, like this, talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually been on the phone and tried to get them on board to thousands of businesses. But we finally cracked the code and we finally have a system that works practically
Yes.
every single time. And I still laugh. Like the roundtable I was talking about yesterday, was on Tuesday. They're still talking about enterprise. And I said, well, how can that work for small businesses? Can small enterprises afford that? What if they want to do multiple processes? Well, they have to be a larger company because in order to build it, they have to add on more processes. It's going to cost this much to build the software. I'm like, oh, you guys don't even know what they don't even. They're so caught in their little world of what they're doing right now that they don't actually see
Mm-hmm.
what's happening. And
They
you
don't.
can tell they haven't done the research. They haven't really studied the future of RPA. They said the future about what it could do for the enterprise world, but
Right.
we know that. I mean, every time we put we try to get an enterprise company, we had to put a proposal together with 5 or 6 or 10 other people, right? And hopefully we'll get it, and then come back, and then it takes another 5 or 6 months before we even get the process going, and another few months before the process is built. And it's like it's just so time consuming,
It's,
man. And
oh
it's
my
like,
goodness, dude. It's like pulling teeth from like a dragon.
yeah, and people love it because I mean, don't get me wrong, those companies like say, you know what? Yeah, I have $200,000 here. Let's try to invest in this. If it doesn't work, it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll invest it. So to them, it's no problem because they have the money. But to us, it's like, man, that's time consuming, man, and we have to chop down so many, knock on so many doors just to
Yep.
get things done and to get them on the same page. It's ridiculous. We found a system that really, really works now, man. And
Yep.
going into talking to clients, period, it's like this is what we expect. Boom. This is what you should expect from us. Boom. This is what we're going to deliver. We don't deliver it. We don't do it. You know.
Bing. Just like that.
That's it. That's
We, we,
it.
we're making it simple. We're making it simple so that folks understand. because simplicity leads to understanding. And that's why we changed our name from Scale Through Automation to Simply Automate. And the word simple was in there for a reason. We want to simplify this so that people understand how powerful it is, and you can actually be reaching out with your fingers across to the AI fingers and changing the world. So what is RPA? It's robotic process automation. Robotic is anything that is done repetitively. You think about anything that's done or any repetitive actions, those are considered robotic. Process is anything that's a process from end to end, all that goes inside of it. And then obviously automation is streamlining that whole process. That's what RPA is. But how about the top 5 benefits? Number 1 is reduced cost, man. Let's talk about that reduced cost. That's the number 1 benefit. Survey says you could say reduce costs and huge ROIs, but we'll just stick with this so it's not too much focus at once. Reduce costs is big though, because honestly, when you do reduce costs, it does put you in a position to gain more revenue.
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
If you really think about it.
We're doing one right now. In fact, I have a presentation. Well, I don't. Craig has a presentation here at 3 o'clock my time, 4 o'clock your time, and we were looking through all of our use cases. In fact, which is the one that we feel that people can really relate to? There's one that we're doing is bank reconciliation, and they were paying 2 people full time to do this, right? Bank reconciliation. Just think about that. They're paying them, both of them together, came up to $102,000 a year to do this, right? We automated this process. Guess how much that client paid for this process? $7,000 a year.
And now what?
And now owning the maximum is going to be $36,000 worth of their time doing it. Right, because there's still some manual things that got to get approved. They have to do they have to do certain things, but for the most part, 80% of it was done. Maybe even more than that, but let's say 80%. Right. So the total cost of that, I think it came out to like $43,000. Right. So it's saving them over $60,000 a year on one process. Incredible. On one process.
Incredible.
One process. That's it. And
wow.
And if you look at it, that even though it's $36,000 that they're still putting into it, max. We just sort of throw that number out there, right? If you take that $36,000 and minus it from the $102,000, I don't know what the math is, but it's probably like 76,000, right? Mm-hmm. So $76,000 is what we automated. For $76,000, we automated and turned it into $7,000. So
dude, that is unbelievable.
So what they were doing manually is about $70,000 worth of manual work almost. We automated and charged them $7,000 a year. Dude, I mean,
you can't. I mean, it's nothing you can do about that, dude. That's
and that's just one of the stories. That's a big story. I mean, there's stories that we've done that's smaller than that. Businesses that we're saving 350% on ROI just because of automating a process. The numbers are just staggering, and people understand is that you're not going to lose money with RPA. You're always going to save money and save time with RPA.
Save money and save time, which is huge. And if you do that correctly, when you save money and time, that only positions you to be able to increase your bottom line. Like if you do it correctly, if you're saving energy and time, that means you've heightened your efficiency and just through basic organicness, you should be increasing revenue. Like that's 100%. The way it should be going down. So interesting. So interesting. Who's that?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys for joining too. Thank you for watching this wherever you are, Facebook or LinkedIn. Appreciate your comments and share this. Sharing is caring. I never asked anyone to share our live before. I said, what am I doing? We got to ask people to share it because they will if they like it, and then someone will see it and will possibly save their business or help them, create, generational wealth. Honestly, that's kind of what happens when you build a business and it thrives. That's the next realm you move into. So we're talking about reducing costs, saving time, saving energy, but saving that money. Saving that money is big. Another one that's huge is the customer experience. This is the number two. This is what RPA. We're talking about five things that RPA, robotic process automation, business process automation, do and can do for you. And the first one was cost savings. The second one is that customer experience. Now, the story you just said earlier could have fit right into this.
Right.
Could fit right in this as well. You know,
That's right.
the
And we have
customer
actually another
experience.
one. We have one that was doing invoice processing. You know what I'm talking about? The grocery stores, right? They were doing
Mm-hmm.
invoice processing. They have 4 full-time people doing hundred and some invoices a week or a day. I can't remember what it was, but I know it's just thousands a month, right? We know that because they work with, what was it, 70 some vendors? I can't remember how many vendors they work with, right? So they were seeing um processes, I mean invoices all day long. All four of them, three of them got moved to other positions, management positions, um, uh, department head, things like that. One of them stayed on part time to do the little things, to whatever it took. Four and a half full time employee, three and a half full time employees positions were moved to other locations where they can help customers, where they can build
Mm.
those relationships, where they can have help out with their service.
See,
So when you were talking about taking what people were doing with their head down, not being involved with the the day to day operations or even conversation of the company, have now been able to take those experienced people and put them in positions to not only help out others, but to allow them to know that they're more valuable, that they
mm-hmm.
see more value out of them, right?
Yeah,
Instead of them coming in like a human robot and going to work, doing this every single day behind a computer, no one really talks to you,
right.
right? You do your thing. Now they walk in like, okay, what's going to happen today? Who am I going to talk to today? What's going to happen? So
Energy.
it's, yeah, totally. So it totally changed that customer experience. That's where we see the most happiness from people being automated out of anything. At first, they're scared because you're taking my job away.
Mm-hmm.
But once people understand, it does happen a lot on the enterprise. I'm not gonna lie, because
Yeah, it'll
most of
be.
the
Yeah, see, I'm glad you touched on that because that it is a fact that it's a possibility that if you have a job and all you're doing is repetitive action, well, obviously that you should be doing more than that. Just honestly, you should be doing more than that, and the company should be using your talents and skills more. And what we do is we talk and consult and educate companies, you know.
Mhm.
But like Wilton was saying, in the enterprise world, it's different. They're about money. Okay, it's
That's
about
it.
how much money can we make, how much can we save, and unfortunately, humans are thought of last. In the mid
Mhm.
market and smaller businesses, and ones we love to work with, um, they care about the people. It's the people, the process, and then the technology, the way it should be. Take care of the people, standardize your processes. Now get the right technology, and now that's actually how you win big.
Win
Anyway,
big and grow big.
yep,
Win big and grow.
all
Right.
day.
It's very true. I mean, all these enterprise companies, because they're trying, they have stockholders that they're trying to fill pockets with, and they're trying to cut costs. And we know anybody who owns a business knows that salaries, employee payroll is the top of anybody's budget, right? That's where all most of your money goes, right?
Yep.
But if you could put that payroll to customer service and customer experience, it's going to allow your revenue to grow a lot faster.
Oh yeah.
A
Come on,
lot.
it's logic. It's logical.
It is. It is. So, let the robots do the robotic work.
Mm-hmm.
Let the humans do human work, because robots cannot. If I saw a robot walk up to me and try to be my friend, I'm like, what the heck? You can't be. You can't talk to me.
Right.
If I heard the phone like, hi, press one. You're not talking to me, right? It's like, hey, hello, how you doing, Wilton? How's your day been? How your family? That's more where people need to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being able to engage with people, and when they do that, they allow businesses to grow. In small, medium-sized businesses and small, medium-sized enterprises, we see that happening. A lot of people are getting repositioned because now they're being able to take that skill that they've been tucked away, and moved over into
Mm-hmm.
something else. If businesses, if you are in a business now and you go to work and you know every single day that you're going to do something repetitive, that that you already know that you're working on. You're like, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to do all these invoices, I'm going to clock out, I'm going to eat lunch, I'm going to come back, look at the invoices, check over the errors, do all these different things. You already know your plan every single day. You're going to be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
So that position is going to be replaced. So you should be the one thinking about, where do my skills fit in
Yeah.
this company? My skills fit as a director, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what I want to do is let them know I'm in the position to be a director. Let me help them automate my position. Reach
Right.
out to us and tell us, you know what, hey, you know what, I think you can automate my position so I can do something better,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
right?
Hey, that's actually that's a really good way of looking at it too.
It is, because you don't have to be an owner to do it. You could be a person that's actually in the grind of it,
Mm-hmm.
in the thick of it every single day,
Yep.
that's doing it and say, I don't like doing this every single day. I'm a human robot. If you feel like a human robot because you do the same thing over and over and over, the same logic, same rules, just different wording, different numbers, different things, that's all robotic. If you're doing that, you should already be thinking about a way out. And the best
Mm-hmm.
way to think about a way out is automate your process so you can move your way up.
Mm. Come on. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. Another one. Another one, man. Which is really huge, is lowering that risk. And we were talking with a gentleman today. We just talking with someone today about, he was interested in knowing what's the about the risk. He wanted to know about the risk, and actually what we do is we actually help lower the risk, because we help to standardize and streamline and make things more effective and official and efficient. And efficiency is huge when you're talking about compliance. Hello. Compliance, there's no inefficiencies with compliance. That costs money. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, there's I mean, when you automate the process, there's no to low risk. And what I mean by low risk is that if it's a human doing it and there's high to extremely high risks, we'll take it all the way down to low to no risk, right? If there's a medium risk to low risk, there's no risk at all. So because there's always exceptions, right? But with the RPA, the exceptions go to human to make that decision. The bot will make that decision for
hmm
risk, right? So it's that if the risk, that's what I'm saying. The low risk still happens because if it passes on to the human and the human makes it, it's done. But a
yep.
bot will never ever make that mistake, take a risk like that without any human interaction. It
Yeah.
doesn't do it. It's
Doesn't do it.
impossible. It's built in that way. That's the way it's built in. Period.
hmm
So
That's
and
that's
and
that's what
so
automation does, man. Technology allows you to be that efficient. That's why when we go fully autonomous cars, even when people can get inside the cars themselves and drive them, we'll be at this fully autonomous level where most of the cars on the road are autonomous. They're driving themselves, and if you are driving the car yourself, you still have they have these sensors on the side which kind of still controls it if you get out of whack or something. So
mhm.
everything's still kind of controlled. Once we get to the point where all the cars are running on technology, guess how many accidents there will be?
The only accident that would be is if you jump out of a car.
Right. And then even when you jump out, the cars won't run over you because
They won't run over you because they don't know you, right? That's the only thing. It's like, all the cars around you will stop. They have there's cars right now that are already, if you're walking, I can't remember. I think it was a Mercedes EXQ, whatever. I don't know, one of those ones. But if it'll tell you if there's something in front of you like 50 yards, 100 yards, it'll start beeping at you, let you know. It'll tell if there's a crosswalk coming up. It will tell you if people are walking on the side of this road. It'll tell it blows your mind. It'll
man,
tell you if the car's flying up behind you real fast, and it feels like, okay, this is not following the rules, so this happening. It sends all these sensors out there
wow,
for you already.
that's
It's already
amazing.
here. Now it's going to be automated pretty soon. Everybody's going
Yep.
to be doing it.
Shoot, next thing I'm gonna be doing is telling people to get off their cell phones every time they see them too. Let's automate
That's
that.
right. And then they grab that out, the minute they put their head down and they just like the car, you say, hey, put that phone down.
Yep,
I'll let you shut it off.
you're
I'll
right.
let you shut off.
Everything. That's what I'm talking about, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, here's a good one. You know, talk about making processes efficient. I mean, there is something to be said about efficiency. Um, and like the internal efficiency. Like when you have like when your process flow is consistent internally. Oh man, I mean, there's nothing you can't do. I mean, I've I've worked with and for companies that just didn't have it. It just and the production showed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then companies that had it, oh my goodness, there was nothing they couldn't do.
Right.
And there was so many opportunities that will always present themselves. And so, how does RPA help this?
Well, RPA, honestly, the easiest way to say if you have a process that you're already working on, right? The way you first of all, we improve it by looking at the process, taking the information that you've already shared with us. We identify that process, right? Like you put up there. We actually understand how you do it, and then we analyze it to build it out better. To like, okay, how can we improve it even better? Because even though you've been doing this for 15, 20 years, we don't want to change anything up. We want to listen to what you say. But let us show you how we can improve it
Hmm.
more and make it more beneficial, make
Yeah.
it more productive. And then once we do that and we understand the logic behind it all, and you understand the changes that are coming to make it better, all we do is design it out, and show you what it looks like,
Hmm.
show you what it looks like. And then when you say, "Oh wow, I like that," which when we get to that point, we already know we're going to get that wow factor. We've been in the game for long enough, worked some enough companies to know what sticks and what doesn't, and we're not going to go forward with anybody that doesn't stick. So we know for the most part, 99% of the stuff that we do is going to move forward, right? And then we test it out, we demo it, make sure everything's up and running. We actually do like a lot of demos on our end. We do a lot of testing on our end before we even demo it out. So we do all the testing over and over, finding out, make sure everything's running. By the time we get to a client, like, all right, take a look at this. They're ready, like, oh, dang, they can't believe it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all we got to do is say, okay, how can we get it started? Okay, just let's hit the switch. It's ready to go.
Ready to
Hit the
go.
switch. It's that easy. But it's the re-engineering. When people understand the re-engineering part, is that the re-engineering is taking what you've already done, simplifying it for you through
Mm.
automation.
Great way
Simple.
of putting it.
It's not taking it and just read. Okay, no, we're gonna just scratch that out and move it out. We're gonna start over. No, we don't ever do that, right? We just take what you have, simplify it for you, analyze how we can make it better, build it out, hit the start button, and let your bot run. And now you can walk away from that process. That's it.
Just like that.
That's it. It's that simple. It really is that simple.
It really is that simple.
Yeah.
And it's quick. The time that it takes for you to go from not knowing anything to having a good enough understanding of knowing how much you're going to win, like the time it takes for you to go from not knowing anything to move to that place is short. It's literally a conversation. After the first
Mhm.
conversation, you'll be able to understand because what happens is it's your process. So you know your process. So you know when you start winning with that process. You know what you're
Right.
doing. So you
Right.
definitely know when you start winning. The moment you get that win, the paradigm shifts, your mind frame opens up. It's like, oh, now you start to become a little more educated in this space, and all of a sudden now your mind is able to identify, more opportunities for automation. It's pretty
One hundred
fantastic, man.
percent. 100%. And I think that's the key. That's the sticky point that we've seen in our working with our clients is that all of them have these questions. What about this? What about that? Like I said, we were late to a meeting now because I was on another client asking all these questions because they had about 5 or 6 processes they want to talk about. Like, hey, let's start out with one, right? Like, yeah, we can do them all, but let's start on one. I told them I was like, let's start on one. We have to reel them back in because you can start getting it. But even with that, once we start on one process and we map it out and we do this engineering part that you have up here on the screen, and we test it out and we demo it for them, and they actually get to see it
Mm-hmm.
working and feel the value, that's when the light bulb moment kicks on. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh, hey, not only do I understand it now I feel it. Because they could understand, like you said, they'll understand it. When we map it out, they'll understand it. Like, okay, this is good. I want this. But they don't see the real benefits and the value until they actually see it running in their environment.
Yep.
When they're not doing it, when they finally have their hands up, like, oh, I'm not
Yeah.
actually doing this anymore.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Right.
That's when the real value starts coming in, and that's when the girl was like, well, they could do that. They could do this. Can we
Uh-huh.
do that? We tell all the time, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? Yeah, well, map that out for us. You know how to map it out. And just like uh, Gregory told us just in this call earlier, he goes, not only do I fill out that questionnaire, I'll send you a recording of what I do. That way you can map it out for us. It's like, it's even better. Now we have a
Yeah.
real, right? So
Yep.
so that's the way it works. But you're so right, man. It's once they get it into their environment and once they understand it using their processes and their logic behind the process, because like I said, invoice processing everybody does pretty much invoice processing, right? But everybody does. Logic is different. They do it different. They use different softwares. They have different systems. They have a different way. Everything's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all called the same thing, right? But once you understand how invoice processing, just using that out of all the hundreds that can be automated, can actually be automated within your environment, that's when you'll be like, okay, okay, now I see it. I don't see it from you telling me how company A did it. You telling me how it's impacting me. Now I get the big
Now
picture.
I get it.
Yeah.
Now I get it. That's exactly how it works. That's exactly how it works.
Yeah.
And so, that was four. There's so many more. There's more that I can count on my hands and feet of benefits of this technology. But here is number five. And basically, this symbolizes that you don't have to change systems. You
Mm-mm.
know, I was looking for, trying to find some images that spoke to what I was trying to convey, and essentially RPA fits into anything you're doing. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter what system you got, how old it is, doesn't matter. Come in there and just make it better. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
that's
it.
what we do. And that's what it
Mm-hmm.
does. It just makes it better. So it can be old. It can be as old as Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. We have a client now that had this accounting, accounting software. He's looking, goes, yeah, I'm talking to this company to upgrade our system. We're growing real fast. We want to upgrade it because, you know, da 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 da. He said the software's gonna work better. We did a demo. Oh man, we need it. Ask him what does it do, and he walked through the process of what it did, right? And I'm like, does your old system do that? He goes, yeah, but then you have to get the information from here. You have to put it in the Excel. You have to go over here and put it here and do that. So there's many steps. It's gonna save us a lot of time. And I said, but you can do it, right? He goes, yeah. It goes, just automate it. What are you doing spending $25,000 to do that when you can automate it for less than 5 grand? What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and it works faster. And not only does it does what that software does, it does more because there's still manual work that goes before that and after that, right? There's still more to that process. That's just a part of the process a software is going to get used to purchase for part of the process. That was to take uh, the meat of a lot of the labor work they were doing, but not all of it. I'm like, why are you going to do that when you can? I said, does all your systems work fine? He goes, yeah. Do you have your process or the way you want to put it into Excel the way you want it? You get the information from Excel and put it into your software. Yeah, we have all that already built out. Then let's just map it out and we'll automate it. That's it.
Mm,
And that's what we're doing. We had a meeting with them yesterday morning, right? And
man.
uh, and and it was and we're moving on. And but he was just like blown away. He's like, I didn't realize you could possibly do this. I was like, and I've been talking to him for a minute. If I like, dude, you're gonna make a big mistake if you do that. Make a big mistake. I said, let's map it out. Once we map it out, if you don't like it, you can buy this $25,000 software. He didn't hesitate. Like, no, let's go ahead and send me the NDA. Let's get this roll up.
Yeah.
Let's get going.
Come on.
And that was it because he understood that not only is it doing that portion that he wanted done, but it's doing everything before it and everything after it. You know, it goes into QuickBooks. It does all this different stuff that needs to grab, and it gives all the information, takes it to the Excel, it takes it to their their Google files and all
Yep.
that stuff, and they
Yep.
put it to the software and they send it to these people. It does all that, and that software can't do that, you know. And
Hmm.
he was just like blown away, blown away. And now he's already talking. We haven't even finished. We haven't even started that process. We just sent the NDA out, and he's already talking about other process, right? Because he saw the impact of what it can do immediately. And that's what I'm saying. It's so important that all businesses, I'm not talking about most, all businesses have
Oh.
processes.
Hmm.
If you don't have a business, if you don't have a process, you don't have a business.
Right.
It can't be done, right?
Yeah, I mean,
You
it's
you
impossible.
can't just, it's impossible, right? So you find out what process can I start with to get a better understanding of this? What company can I go to help educate me? Because there's there's a lot of pretenders out there, and
Hmm.
they see the money signs, right? And we've a couple of our clients fell victim to them, and we pulled them out where them and their staff were like, I don't want nothing to do with this anymore,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And we're able to reel them back in, and like, wow, there is somebody good that exists out here that can do it, right?
Yeah. Silver
And
lining.
it is, and to see that, you know, something that they've been working for 6 months and only got at their best day 70% accuracy, we built in 2 weeks with 100% accuracy, was just he was just like he just didn't understand it.
Basically,
And
what Wilton's talking about is there was a client we have, the last company that served them. They basically ended up at about 70% accuracy, meaning it was inefficient. It's 30% um, inaccuracies, right? And it took them what 6 months to do that inaccurate process, and we did it in less than 2 weeks with 100% accuracy. And so, like little small, that's big, but little things like that is kind of puts a smile on our face because we know that we can make a big difference. And I think it comes down to caring. And these words up here are big, compassion. I think it comes down to caring about the organization that you're dealing with. I think it's through
mhm,
caring and communication that you're able to really understand how to serve them.
right,
That's the
yeah,
thing.
and I think you're right. And about us caring is that we know we work on our craft on a regular basis, right? We work at it. And he asked me, well, how can you guys do it so fast and like this? And they don't. I said, because there's a big gap between what the people that can really do it and the ones that really can't do it. And they're just getting in the game because they see an easy opportunity for money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with us, it's like we've been there. We've made the mistakes. We understand it. We built a team and we built a process, and now we're building a bigger team to follow the same process. So it's not like we're bringing in here and just starting over. The
Right.
foundation is built. So it's not going to change on us. So we already have built that from experience, and we do care, and we care to make everything better for every process for every one of our clients. And that's so. And I said that's exactly why you see the big gap between
Mm-hmm.
6 months at 70% at its best day accuracy compared to 2 weeks at 100% accuracy every single time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big difference
That's
is.
what that is.
That's what it is. And it's he's not the first and last. There's going to be many, especially now that RPAs are a word throwing out there that people are starting to really understand now. And you and I talked about this a couple of years ago. We're like, no one knows about it, but people are going to start talking about it. And here we are. You know, people are starting to talk about it more and more. I already
Mm-hmm.
got invited to two different podcasts to be on the podcast and talking straight about automation RPA, right?
Wow.
And it's just like there, it's out there now. People are like, "Well, how
Mm-hmm.
are you doing this? What are you doing?" So people are starting to pay attention to what this is.
Yep.
So people
Yep.
are also saying, I have a developer, I can learn this. Let me grab them. Let me do this for them, and I'll become an RPA developer. It's not that easy. It's not that easy at
No.
all.
Yeah. It is
So,
not. It is not.
and I'll tell you another great story. You know which client I'm going to miss. We really don't want to mention client's name without their permission, but we have another big size client, decent size client. They have their own IT team, and they're like, okay, we want you to start building our first couple processes, and then we want you to train us so we can build it and we can take over from there. All right, cool, we'll do that. And we started doing it after the second month. They're like, nah, we want you to build all of them because we see the value of you building them right away, and us training somebody to do this will take them a year or two just to do what you guys have learned how to do. He goes, so it makes no sense for us to hire somebody to take one of our IT guys and have them focus on RPA when this is your lane and you guys have perfected it. And now I think we're on their fifth or sixth bot already, right? And we're doing everything now. We're doing all the process internally because they see like it makes no sense for us to be able to do what you're doing. So people coming into the game, even if they have RPA understanding,
yeah,
the learning curve on how to perfect it and to deploy it takes a long time.
it does.
It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of education. It takes a lot of failure to do there to get there, and we've done that. So now, I mean, if we have mistakes, our clients will know about it because we fix them before it goes to our clients, right? So we know. So that's why we test and test and test and test because we make the mistakes, right? But when we see the mistake, oh, we know we did wrong here. Boom, to fix it. We don't
Easy.
deploy unless it's ready to go, right? And that's why we know that we can get it done within 30 days. We haven't got one process past 30 days. We did one, but it was because of the communication between us.
Yep.
So and once we fix that communication and we had a
It's
conversation
flowing.
with them, boom, 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 boom. It's been flowing. Yeah. So, it's huge, man. But that caring part is big. And knowing who to work with is huge. Because if you work with the wrong people, it could take you down the wrong path.
Yeah.
Financially, it can hurt you.
Here is we're gonna show this little video of the wins. I mean, you did this earlier. I was like, it reminded me of something. We're gonna show folks a little video, and we'll be back in a second. Hey, check your phone too.
All right.
Business burnout can be so overwhelming. So many things to do and not enough time to do them. Deadlines to meet with time ticking away quickly. Multiple repetitive tasks that must be completed every single day. What if you could cut that list in half? What if you could automate 50, 60, 70% of what you do every day? You would have less stress. You could get more done in less time. And your company would make more money. Less stress and more money? See how RPA can change your day.
See how RPA can change your day, because it will. We've got their website. Our website is down there. The website is on Facebook. It's on LinkedIn, and it is also on YouTube. Listen, it doesn't take much time to find out how much time you can save. It's really interesting. The amount of time that you spend, it might be the best time you ever spent. It's definitely the most valuable time you ever spent. There's never been, because this technology has never been in existence. Never been a time where you literally can, in less than 30 days, automate something for somebody. There's never been a time in history where you can automate something for a law firm with 3 employees, 2.5, and you can automate 40 hours away for them. So take 40 hours away. 40 hours. And now, listen, that was just the first process. There's never been a time. And so we're talking about the era of digital employees, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it.
All right. They're here to help. And I know we got a lot of movies out there, Terminator and all those different things, and iRobot and, all kind of different things that make people a little fearful. Well, hey, life is about pros and cons, ups and downs, the good and bad. So you're going to have the fear, but listen to some of the good, like some of the 5 things we showed you today: the cost savings, the energy efficiency, the better internal processes, the customer satisfaction. I mean, the list goes on. Most importantly, the sanity that is regained.
Mm-hmm. That's huge. That is big time. That's big time. And I know you have a webinar you're already late to.
Yeah.
You have a presentation coming up, so we're grinding, dude. Are we doing this every Thursday? We're doing this every Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
And then next week we'll be promoting our the webinar, which is going to be the last Tuesday of this month. Last Tuesday. Definitely get on that. The registration will be coming out actually tomorrow, but we're going to talk about it next week. but you need to get on there. Get on it. Come to our website. Just get educated. Listen, it's not about selling. It's all about telling, because eventually everybody's gonna know. I want you to be the first. Okay.
Well said.
We want you to be the first.
Absolutely.
All right. Until next time, the Business Empowerment Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You gonna take us out?
Yeah, you can take us out, man.
Okay. Let me find it. Let me start over. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time.
Welcome to the Business Empowerment Podcast, the show that keeps you in the know with what you need to know in business and technology and for yourself so you can grow. Welcome to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Rob House, and my co-host, Wilton Rogers, got insight for miles. Miles and miles. We'll give you what you need to know.
Get ready for the Business Empowerment Podcast.